In one of my earlier videos, I showed you how to make a faux fireplace that came out great. I've always loved fireplaces. When my kids were little, at first they were made of paper, and then for years we used this cardboard fireplace that was really quite creative. When we bought our first home, I made my first faux fireplace, which was really just attached to one side of the wall right next to the kitchen. It was fun to have a place to decorate for each of my kids and for my sweetie. It became a place to hang artwork. It was also a place that they could surprise me as well. When we moved to our second home, I made the fireplace of my dreams, and it came out fantastic. It has always been a place to enjoy family time and, of course, to enjoy Christmas together. So today I'm showing you how to make a small fireplace from things that people leave on the side of the road. Things that I often see on the side of the road are bed hutches, drawers, desks, legs from tables or bunk beds, little end tables, little shelves, or TV stands that people no longer need. So today I'm going to show you how I found a bed hutch and I cut it in half, and then I attached wood around it from a desk, and then I used a drawer for the inside of the fireplace, and then I used some beautiful wooden legs from a table or a bunk bed. The tools that I used for this was a power drill. I used it to drill holes and then screw in my screws, and then I used a Black & Decker jigsaw to cut any pieces of wood that I needed, and then I used a Black & Decker sander if I needed to sand any of the pieces of wood. I also used a simple miter box. Okay, so here's the simple bed hutch that was left on the side of the road. As soon as I saw it, I could see if I just cut it in half that it would be perfect for a small fireplace.
Oh man, this is...
So I went ahead and cut it in half. And then someone put out a desk that they didn't want, so I took the drawer and decided that would be great for the inside of the fireplace. The drawer was a little bit too thick, so I ended up using a jigsaw to cut it a little bit thinner. So every time I needed a screw, I would drill a hole and then I would screw in the screw. And then I just created as I went along by seeing what size I needed to fill up different areas. And some parts I made a mistake and made it too short. I just put the piece back in, knowing that I would fill it in later. I put a piece on the top and on the sides and on the back. The inside of the fireplace was made by using just like a square foot of floor tile, and this one had a nice pattern to it, and then I just cut it to the size of the brick that I wanted, and it's sticky on one side, so then I just stuck it to the inside of the drawer. I used some lightweight spackling to fill in between the brick. Inside the drawer I made a small hole and fed through a plug that I could then use to plug in the fireplace lights. I found these beautiful wooden legs on the side of the road. They were either for a table or a bunk bed. There were 3 of them, and I only needed 2 to make some candelabras. So all I needed to do was to just basically cut it shorter, and I used the same saw from the miter box. And then I cut 4 small pieces of wood and drilled it together as a base. Then I used a small can of wood finish. This one was Minwax Golden Pecan. I think it's 245. This is a really small can. It's only 3 fluid ounces, but it lasts a long time. So the one on the left is without the glaze. The one on the right has the wood glaze on it, and it shows how it really brings the wood to life. And then for the top of the candelabra, I just used some lids from some jars of paint that I was finished with, and then I just drilled some holes and screwed it together. You don't have to do this step, but I wanted to make a little frame around my fireplace. I had some leftover material from when I was repairing some screens in my home, so I just cut some pieces of the screen frame with the miter box saw, and here it shows the clips. And then for the top of it, I wanted it to be round, so I just used a thin piece of wood and used a jigsaw to cut the pieces out. So this shows it all together. And then I spray painted it black with some spray paint that was $1. Then I cut some screen to put on it, and I had some spine and the spine tool, and this shows how you get the screen attached to the frame. I covered this entire project with some brown paint that I had left over, and it was kind of dull, so I ended up using the wood finish and painted over that to make it more of a shine. And I just used a small can of wood finish that I had, and I still had some left over. I saw someone cutting their tree, so I asked if I could take a couple pieces for the logs. Then I sprayed it with a crystal clear finish just to preserve the wood.
The fireplace is ready to assemble. This is the fun, exciting part. So the main fireplace part, and I have the candelabras. I put a piece of felt here, and I have my lights and my screen and my wood holder. So we are all set to put all these pieces together. I'm really happy with how it turned out. Okay, you ready? All right.
It's beautiful! It's beautiful! What kind of lights do you use?
Christmas, orange Christmas.
So cute! Cute little candles. That is beautiful. It's awesome.
It's gorgeous, right?
Just like what, a drawer or cabinet was it?
Well, the inside was a drawer and the outside was a bed hutch.
I hope this inspires you to make a small fireplace of your own, using things that people discard on the side of the road. I had a great time making this project. And until next time, make today beautiful.
Okay, ready?
Angels we
Ready?
Angels we have heard on high, sweetly singing o'er the plains, and the mountains in reply, echoing their joyous strains. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Very nice.
Once you start making a project, and just, don't worry. You just you have a vision in your mind, and you cut a straight edge, and you think, what could I do now? And you learn as you go, and this is my third fireplace that I've ever made. A real joy to make, real fun. So this is Jackie Messenger saying, if you have a dream, make it a reality.